Hello, my name is Jonas Yost. I am a graduate student at Pittsburgh State University, earning my Master's of Science in Human Resource Development, Management, and Consulting, and I'm currently entering my final semester. I was born and raised in Oklahoma, a small town called Okeen. After I graduated, I went to Oklahoma City Community College for one semester before moving to Missouri, where I graduated from Missouri Southern State in 2010 with a degree in history and mass communication. I worked for a few years before I decided that I really had an interest in human resource management, and so I enrolled in Pittsburgh State's Human Resource Development program as I already had an undergraduate and it seemed like a graduate was the next logical step. In my working career, I've spent most of my life in retail, but as I've gotten closer to graduation, I actually was hired as an HR manager and safety manager for a company called K&S Wire Products here in Neosho, Missouri, where I live, and with my wife and my daughter. Aside from being at K&S Wire currently as their human resources and safety manager, I actually have also worked in a number of retail jobs. Most recently, I worked at Lowe's Home Improvement for almost 4.5 years, starting off as a driver and working my way through the process. I basically worked every job you could work at Lowe's except for a manager. I never quite made it up to that level, and then I decided to work in HR, and so I ended up at K&S Wire. Prior to that, I had used my experience in communications to work at the Joplin Globe for 2 years as a special services assistant, which was basically an obituary and classified ad writer. I did it mostly on the weekends and on the evenings, but it gave me a lot of experience in honing my writing skills. And before that, I was a paraprofessional at Crowder College, which I really enjoyed. It gave me some experience in teaching and really taught me a lot about the classroom mechanics. In fact, I hope after I graduate to do some teaching at the junior college level with my master's, and I feel like that experience from Crowder College will really help me in the process. And of course, prior to that, I had jobs as a customer service or customer accounts representative for Rent-A-Center in Neosho, a warehouse worker at Vintage Stock, and for 4 years, mostly while I was at Missouri Southern, I worked at Hastings and Joplin as a front counter team leader. So, a lot of experience in retail, but fundamentally, I have a lot of experience all around. The most important thing my experience has done for me is given me really good people skills, which is essential in a job such as HR. As for my skills, in my time, I have been a manager in limited capacity. If you total it up, it's about 5 years between being a front counter team leader at Hastings and a head cashier at Lowe's. With my limited HR manager experience, I have the skills to manage people, but I haven't really done it on such a personal level, so that is one thing I've had to work on. As for sales, I'm pretty much a master salesperson. All the time I spent in retail, I learned how to make sales, how to get people to buy the things that they need to buy, and upselling a little bit as needed, especially when I was at Lowe's selling lawnmowers as a sales specialist. My communication skills are pretty great too. Having gotten my minor in mass communications from Missouri Southern and having worked at the Joplin Globe as a writer, that is one skill I feel I am very good at, and probably is my best skill if I had to narrow it down. My writing skills, my communication ability are all pretty good, and I've never had a problem getting my point or my ideas across to anyone. And finally, I think another good skill of mine is leadership. Having been in my management roles, I've been able to get my teams organized, motivate my teams to do work, and be able to get people to do things that they may not really want to do, but they will do out of me being able to lead them and them knowing that I would have their back. And as for my memberships, I am currently a member of the Society of Human Resource Managers. Right now, I just have a student membership, but I hope after I graduate, I could get the professional membership and possibly get one of the certifications if I do want to take more classes after I graduate. I'm also in a program called the Missouri Sharp Association, which at K&S Wire is an OSHA-based club where if you're organization is able to keep safety at a good level and not have a lot of accidents, you don't get the surprise OSHA inspections. And so as a member of that, it's my job to make sure we keep a safe environment so we can stay in that organization so we don't have to get the surprise OSHA visits. And finally, I'm in a group called iTech, which is basically a group of local HR managers. There's about a dozen of us who meet once a month, and we have lunch and just describe what's going on in the HR field, how things are affecting each other, and give each other advice going forward on things. In my experience of only having a few months of experience, that group has been very beneficial to me, and I've learned to make some connections and gotten a lot of things cleared up that were confusing to me. And as you can see, I do have 2 certifications that I've earned so far. Of course, I have the DISC Communication Styles Consultant certification. I earned that through Pittsburgh State, learning how to talk to people and learning how to talk to people with their personality to motivate them to do things or to understand things, as we all have our different styles of communication. The other communication that I've earned, certification that I've earned is the HAZWOPER Awareness from Crowder College, and I actually just earned that a few weeks ago. And what that is a safety certification to where I can be out on the plant floor at K&S Wire and know what dangers to look for, what things might be a possible danger, but most importantly, how to handle any of the chemicals and solvents and gases that we constantly run at our plant. With this certification, I have a better understanding and a better knowledge of how to handle those safety situations, and if a chemical is spilt or used, I know how to properly clean it up or dispose of it with that certification. Right now, my goals in HR are to definitely graduate from Pittsburgh State, but ultimately, I would like to be a consultant. Right now, as a manager, I do enjoy this job a lot, but I do think I would be a lot happier as a consultant, going in and helping people fix their HR problems or giving an unbiased opinion on things that may ruffle feathers in an organization, for lack of a better word, or even doing what I've seen other consultants do, where they're called in just to be a third party, a non-involved party, and give ideas or opinions on how things should proceed forward. In my time at K&S Wire so far, we have actually brought in another consultant to be another voice in the organization and to give us an idea on how things should go. And as I had mentioned earlier, with my little bit of education experience, having been a paraprofessional at Crowder College, even on the side, if I'm an HR manager, I really think it'd be nice to teach a class online at one of the local 2-year colleges. That way I can keep my knowledge up, but also pass along the knowledge I've earned on the side. My personal mission statement is to be a person my family, friends, and acquaintances can count on and know that is there for them. And as I mentioned, I have a daughter, so I want to be an example to her. I want her to be able to look up to me as someone that she would want to be. And I want my work to be beneficial, and so that way people know that I'm making a difference, and I can be supportive to them as well and just create a good environment, especially in HR. And as I say on here, I don't always have the answer, but I know that I will have the knowledge when it counts. My contact information is right there on the screen. That's my current address, phone number, my LinkedIn website. And then I have my references over here. Dave Padgett, Grant Schwartz, and Casey Spittler are the most recent managers I've had, and they are all good people, and I know that they would be able to give me good references. And that is me, Jonas Yost. I hope that in the future I can talk to you about my future. Thank you.